there's readers group. As an author, have a readers group. Well, why wouldn't you? People reading your books, talking about your characters, talking about your plot, talking about your books. That can only help you. So if you have a readers group, you publish a book, they look at the book, they read the book after it's published, like a book club. So it needs to be, it's a social media group, whether it's in person, a book club, online book club, Facebook group, Instagram group, anything like that, where the people can get together and talk about one thing. And if that one thing's your books, how can it be wrong? Unless your books are really volatile and create vitriolic reactions and you get a lot of trolls, then you may have problems managing it. But generally, for most people, a readers group is a good idea, because also they can work through your plots, work through your stories, and say, oh, I love this. Oh, I want to know what happens to this character. I want to know what happens to this thread. And all of a sudden you realize, oh, hey, I left one hanging. Then that's great input for the next book if you're writing a series. So that kind of stuff is good. Or, hey, I wonder what's going to happen with this character, with this flaw that I saw. And you don't even realize that you wrote a flaw in there, but you did. And you can work with that. So good input. You let them go. You find a few trusted managers to manage that group, and they keep people excited about it. And that is the best of all worlds. If you're trying to manage it, then you'll be inclined to manipulate things or maybe even argue over points. And it's best if you don't do that. Oh, just hey, that's an interesting point. Let me think on that. Let me think how to resolve that. Or I have a resolution. It's good to be mysterious. I have a resolution, but it wasn't for this book. It's for a later issue. And then you're feverishly thinking, how do I fix that? So it's okay to talk with your readers, but don't get defensive. And this is where you get to learn. You learn how to interact with your readers, carry on a conversation that's beneficial to everyone. Let them know that, hey, their input is important, but it's not all compelling in that, hey, you said I have to do this, so I have to do this. No, an author doesn't have to do anything the readers tell them to do. But if they're talking about an issue, then maybe that's something you need to resolve if they're all confused on a certain point. So these are good things that readers group will bring to you outside of what you might get from beta readers or proofreaders. Your beta readers will hopefully identify hanging subplots and issues that are unresolved, or character flaws where a character deviates from their norm and then goes back and there was no reason for them to deviate. So those could be just simple issues to rewrite a sentence or two. But if it gets out into the wild and the readers are talking about that, this is your chance to carry on a conversation and fix it. And either fix it in the last book, like, oh man, I didn't mean to do that, or fix it in the next book. Just resolve it. Leave it as a hanging issue that, hey, we'll get to that. We'll get to that when the time is right. And be mysterious and keep your readers reading. How can you be wrong if you have a readers group waiting for your next book? So this is a good thing. And then watch it grow. Watch it grow, because this is also, people talk about a street team. A street team is the people who get out, bang on the pots and pans and yell, hey, you should read this book. It's so much better than if you're out there banging a pot and pan, hey, read my book. Yeah, people ignore you as a nutter. But if your readers, hey, I read this book and it was awesome, that's your street team. So readers group, they can bring other people into the readers group, and all of a sudden you'll find 3,000, 4,000 people in your group. I have an author page, and I'm amazed at how many people are there and know about my books and characters, and they know characters that I don't even remember writing, and they're like, hey, this is my favorite character. I'm like, oh man, oh crap. And then I have to ask people, hey, can you school me up on this character so I sound like I know what I'm talking about? Readers group. You can't go wrong with a readers group. Nurture it. Don't argue, and this is also your public persona, your brand. If you're arguing with your readers group, well then maybe you're doing something wrong, or it's doubtful that you brought the wrong readers in because they're reading your stuff in the first place. They paid you money. They're good people. Anybody who gives you money is a good person. And if they're reading your stuff and talking about it, good to go. Good for them. Don't argue with them. Keep moving forward. Watch it grow. Live the dream, and then write another book so they can talk about it. That's what a readers group does. All right, everybody. 5-minute focus.